Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm so excited for this next couple that we have. This is Jay and Pamela, and they are the inspiring couple from TLC's Jay and Pamela, known for their unshakable bond, infectious humor, and uplifting love story. Both born with osteogenesis imperfecta and lifelong wheelchair users, they faced unique challenges with strength and joy. Jay, a proud Black trans man, and Pamela, a proud Mexican American, both advocate for disability visibility. They plan their dream wedding throughout the show, complete with custom fashion, their beloved dog Cheddar, and all the heartfelt moments in between. Together, they're redefining what love and resilience look like, and they are here today to share all about their beautiful wedding with us. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I watched your show. It's so heartwarming, and I absolutely love just your dynamic and everything that you shared and that you've gone through. So I'm really excited to dive in today. So maybe let's chat a little bit about before you met. So you both have a condition called OI, and can you maybe tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, of course. Do you want to start off with?
Yes, so it is a very rare bone disorder, and basically we lack collagen that helps strengthen the bones. So it's basically like the meat inside of the bones to keep it stable. So we have less of that, and so collagen also impacts like your skin, your organs. So like our skin is bruised easily, and then also, as we age, we can develop lung issues, heart issues, and things like that, gastro issues as well. And we have type 3. So, type 3, one of the characteristics are being short stature. So, we are also little people and we can't walk or stand. So, we use a powered wheelchair full time to get around and do our thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think that's kind of what brought you two together, right? So maybe dive in a little bit about how you met.
So we were already Facebook friends, and we still don't know who added who first. It's just, especially with our condition, it's a no pun intended. It's kind of a small community. So if you're not like a weirdo, I guess you just kind of eventually start adding someone that you see also has like yourself. And we didn't interact like that, honestly, not on Facebook or anything. I mean, from time to time, maybe comment on a post or two. We never talked outside of that. And we also follow each other on Instagram, which again didn't talk that much. Maybe got a DM from her to respond to a story of mine. And I'm pretty positive it was when I was in a car, was not driving, but I was like learning how to drive or doing an evaluation for it. So I'm pretty sure she responded to that, and outside of that, never talked that much. And then eventually she came into one of my Instagram lives with my late mentor Simon, and she just like said something in there, and I was like, oh, I remembered that we were Facebook friends, so I told her I'll send her my number on Facebook, and so that's what started it, and that was on March 28th, 2019. And so ever since that day, we talked every day since then, and so that's what got things started. And our first phone conversation was 2 hours, which is a really long time for Pamela because she doesn't talk to people like that. But
That's
that's how we
hilarious.
all got started on that journey. And
Yeah.
now we're here.
Wow. That's so cool. So it was like first reach out, it was like you guys just never stopped talking since then,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it worked out. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool, honestly. And so,
Yeah,
yeah.
his sense of humor got me. I'm like, wow, this guy is so funny.
I love that. Yeah, you're like, he's my kind of person.
Cool.
Yeah, that's so cool. All right, so then you guys hadn't stopped talking since 2019. So maybe bring us to the point where you decided to meet because you were long distance at that point,
Right,
correct?
Yes,
right.
I was originally in Kansas City, Missouri. I was born and raised there, um, and both of my parents are from Mexico. But I Missouri is all I've ever known, really. So I never Georgia, respectfully, Georgia wasn't something like, oh, that's like my bucket list. I want to.
Right.
It was like,
Yeah.
if I visit there, I'll visit there. But because of the pandemic happened, so he did visit me twice before the pandemic in 2019. And at that time, I was living on my own apartment and I was a college student. I was about to graduate soon. So he was already done with college. So it was best for him to travel to see me. And then the pandemic happened. And the goal was May of 2020 when I graduated, and I did graduate. After that, I was going to visit Georgia for the first time. But because of the pandemic, and we just did not want to separate, we're like, you know what? Let's try to find a way to move in together. And we were trying to figure out, like, should we go back to where I live? Should we stay in Georgia? And his parents opened their home to keep us both in their home. And they turned their basement into like a small little apartment. And been in Georgia ever since.
Wow. That's awesome and really cool that you were able to go back and forth and visit each other and then pandemic hits and you're like, we got to be together and also really cool that your parents, Jay, like opened up their home for you guys to live in. So, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, we're very grateful for that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so then it comes time where you guys get engaged, right? So, can you tell us that story?
Yeah, so I had a better plan than what happened. However, she says it was fine. I like things to go a certain way, but that's really more so the autism. Anyway, so we were supposed to go to a restaurant to like I had planned this out in advance and I made the reservation and everything. And the van would not turn on. Well,
No
it
way.
turned on, but it wouldn't move or whatever the case was. And
No.
so I'm just like, oh, okay, well, here we are. And so we couldn't do that because we were supposed to go. That was the whole plan, right? But
Right.
I ended up asking her to marry in my mom's office. Like there was an office, and
Oh.
my parents like helped me out with that because the original plan was to get engaged, then go to the dinner and all that stuff. But either way, so I asked her in the office. I was nervous, and just because of planning, there weren't that many places. We had always talked about we didn't really want to do anything that would be super public anyway, like a whole public proposal kind of thing. So it would be something more intimate, which is why the office I suppose was chosen. And yeah, she said yes, of course, and that worked out.
Oh.
We had already had conversations about it. That's one thing. If you're gonna get engaged, it's probably best to have that talk
Yeah,
first. Just,
Right.
whenever it was time, I would say yes.
just so you don't
Right.
save the heartbreak. So she said yes, and then we were supposed to go to dinner, and then that didn't happen. So my parents set up the table for us. I just ordered from the restaurant we were going to go to, which the food was great. So that was
Yeah,
cool.
very good.
And I had also
That's
made this
good.
book that said, oh, "Will you marry me?" on it, and then it was like a cartoon book, and it had a bunch of things that I love about her, and it was all
Yeah, a
set up
cartoon
Oh
of
my god.
us.
a
It
cartoon
looks
of
like
us,
us, yeah.
just without the
And
cherish.
each page it says like something like beautiful that he loves about me.
Yeah,
Oh
but it's
my
without the chair
gosh.
though, so that was the only thing missing. However, outside of that, yeah, it was a cool book, and
Oh
yeah,
my
that was pretty much it.
gosh.
My parents put on some music. They really tried to set it up with the candles that don't
Yeah,
have
they turned
actual.
the dining room into like a romantic
Yeah, and it was
That's
candles,
so sweet.
but it was candles without the fire. It was like one of those,
Yeah, yeah.
but that which was good. I didn't want it to be lit up anyway like that, so it worked out how it was supposed to.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet. That's such a good pivot that your parents were able to help with, where they were like, okay, if we can't get to the restaurant, we're ordering the food here and we're going to make this really special for them. And so I love that, they were able to help you out with that and just how you guys kept it so intimate between you guys. And like you said, you didn't want it to be like in front of a lot of people and that was more your style and you guys stuck with that.
Yes.
So I love that. That's really cool.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So good. Okay, so then you guys are engaged. What was the wedding planning process like for you guys? And I know this was all documented in your
Yeah,
show, so that adds a whole nother layer to things. So
yeah.
maybe go into that a little bit.
I mean, originally we were just talking about getting eloped, to be honest, just to go to
Yeah.
the courthouse. We were gonna have a courthouse wedding and kind of keep it simple. And then with the show, when that was introduced, they wanted the wedding to be a part of the show, which definitely changed a lot of things. So we had a lot of conversations about what that would look like and the process because essentially you're planning a wedding in 3 months, which was
Wow.
really happening. That was real time, crunch time, planning a wedding in 3 months. So we had to get a lot of help in regards to the planning and things like that because, I mean, we were going from thinking about going to the courthouse to planning this really great wedding, from what everyone saw on television, which is a real wedding. A lot of people thought it wasn't a real wedding, which was like, or
It's real. We have
it's real,
Yeah.
real.
and yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
So it was a lot of planning and of course time because most time when you plan a wedding, you have like a year. You're typically
Right.
planning a year in advance, and we did not. So a lot of the things that you saw, well, they were really happening, and it was even a little more stressful behind the scenes because when you're not filming, you're still having to plan out everything and like who's gonna come to the wedding. We didn't get everybody that we wanted just because again you got to factor in there's crew, there's other people that are involved outside of the people that you want to invite to the wedding. So we did try our best to invite as many people that we could within the realm of what was available to us at that time. So yeah, it really turned out great. The venue, like everything, it was better than I feel
Yeah,
like we could have imagined.
all that crunch time was worth it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, 3 months, that is
Yeah,
not a lot of time to
it was.
do what you guys did
Yeah, and
and the wedding of that size.
trying to
Yeah.
tell your friends and family that they gotta like be ready to go. Like that's also a lot too because most people that we know are working, regular like a regular job or in a career or whatever,
Or have to travel.
or have to travel, so they don't have
Hmm.
that kind of freedom to just like drop everything. And a lot of people did, and we're very grateful for the people who were able to make it, and definitely understood for those who couldn't. It was in a
Hmm.
short period of time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, once you found out you're doing it, you're like, hey, we gotta pick our colors and the dresses, and it's like, go get your fittings. Like, it's all
Yeah,
happening, I'm sure. So, yeah, with your friends and
exactly.
everything that were in your wedding. Hmm.
Yes, with the dress,
Yeah.
bridal dress world, you don't usually like pick out your dress and then in 3 months you have to have it ready. But the bridal shop
Right.
is very accommodating, very sweet people. So yeah, I'm grateful that the people that we worked with, from the wedding officiant Jackie to the people who help with the dress and everything. We're really grateful for them that they're able to really help us push through the time period.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I did want to mention Jackie to you guys too. I actually know Jackie because she's
I
in
know you guys are
Nashville
mutual.
here.
You guys are mutual.
Yes.
IG, I saw that. I was telling her about this.
Yeah. Yeah, she came to one of my events that I put on this year and I was able to meet her and I've seen her at a bunch of other events throughout this year and I was like, and that's how I found out about you guys too, was from her Instagram and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I would love to interview them." So I'm glad it all worked out.
She's really
Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome. She is literally perfect what we imagined. Because we did break it down. Like, okay, what type of efficient do we want? And she fit every single box. So we're really happy
Mhm.
that she was also able to make it to that date as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's so cool. It was so fun to just see her on the show and everything that she did for your ceremony. It was really cool too.
cool.
Um, so let's go back to attire for a minute. Like you said, you had this crunch time of 3 months, and both of you had to get custom, or you chose to
Yeah.
have custom dress and custom tux. What was that process like as far as like getting it all done
Oh, you go first. Yours is way more extensive.
and choosing what colors and everything and styles that you wanted?
What's interesting is the dress that I had in mind ended up being not the dress that I chose, which was interesting.
Really?
I tried on quite a bit of dresses, which they have to shorten it to for the time of the episode. But I think I tried on maybe 5 dresses or something like that. And the one that I wore for the wedding is the one that I ended up picking. And the issue that I was having the most was like the length of it, of course, and then also the shoulder straps because my
Mm.
shoulders are very small and then also uneven. And yeah, I was able to find a dress that I really love and is really comfortable, and then also it's not going to be too complicated to adjust and all that. So it fit like a glove. I still have it in my closet, and it's covered up because I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about like maybe wearing it for like our 1 year anniversary sometime, maybe.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, I really love the dress. It was really pretty, very comfortable. Yeah, and that was one of the things that I told them is like I want to be comfortable at my wedding. Like I don't want to be like feeling like uncomfortable. And yeah, the dress was really comfortable and it's very soft and stretchy. And the material was also very important because I'm sitting down, and so it needs to like be like a certain material where it's like flexible, so I'm able to stay seated the whole time because usually some brides they're standing the whole time. But that's something that I have to consider is like the material on how it looks and feels when I'm sitting down the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. Did you have to do a lot of fittings to get the length and everything, right?
A couple, probably I saw them maybe 3 times or so.
Oh,
Not
nice. Yeah, that's pretty good.
that bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were really great, very accommodating and things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome. And Jay, I know bow ties are like your
Yeah,
jam. You're
yeah,
wearing one today. So that was like the thing that you needed to have on your wedding
yeah.
day, right?
I did. It was definitely an interesting process getting a custom, tux and stuff like that, and this whole fit, especially the pants, as everyone saw, which as it saw showed up on screen. That's really how I felt in real life. Was like, what's happening here? I just didn't know it was gonna have to be measured that way, I guess. Anyway, but it all worked out, and it really was cool to have something that really fit. Just because you know, typically I do get my tuxes and suits and stuff like that altered. I just haven't had anything where it's that customized before. So that was a really
Yeah.
cool experience to be able to have, something that really truly fits you. And then there were things I needed to incorporate that she had requested, like the pearl in there. So there were buttons that were pearl, and in the
That's so
inside
cool.
it's purple, like a purple color. And of course, blue was gonna be my biggest thing. So royal blue was our color, royal blue and purple, and so it was nice to be able to incorporate just everything that you really want inside of your outfit. And the bow tie was also pretty awesome because it's velvet and it felt
Yeah.
good as far as texture, and we really enjoyed, just being able to have that experience of getting something that was just for us, and
Mhm.
customizing it to our liking.
Yeah, for sure. That's really cool. Now, tell us a little bit about choosing your venue. I know on the show that it was very specific because you needed it to be ADA accessible, and there was a list of check boxes that you needed for the venue. So maybe go into that a little bit.
Yeah, in the process of the venue, we had looked around, which of course you don't get to see every single place that you looked at. That would just drag on things. So a lot of the places that we had seen were great. You know what I mean? It just really, again, like you mentioned, needed to provide the accessibility part and just the layout, and that was very important because, of course, you could have options of doing it outside. I was never a fan of doing anything outside, to be quite honest. I like it inside space just because it doesn't depend on weather or
Mm,
anything like that, and you just don't have to worry about it. Um,
right.
so yeah, I mean, figuring that out was a really interesting and fun process to see and see how the venues are all formatted and stuff like that. But this she right here, she was really into it way more than I was, to be honest. In regards to things that she just cared about, I just was like, well, I'm gonna be here either way it goes, wherever we are. So she really paid attention to a lot of the small details and other things. So what are your thoughts on it? The venue looking around.
Yeah, I wanted for it to have some type of personality. Like, I used to have
Right.
like too bland. Um, and so I love how it had the details had like wood and like brick, and like 1 minute it's like brick and then wood, and then outside that people didn't get to see is like there's like really nice trail with pretty
Ooh.
lights. So I thought that was really pretty for like our guests.
Yeah.
Once it gets nighttime, if they want to enjoy their cocktail outside or something, like they have like a nice seating area. Um, and I there was also room for the men to get ready and then also the women to get ready. That was really important because some places that we saw there was only a bridal suite, which that's great, but I also wanted him to have his own nice space to
Hmm.
get ready. And so the venue that we got married in did have both.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know that was important for you guys. So I'm really glad that you were able to find something that like really suited what you needed, which is really cool. And then speaking of your venue and the style of your wedding, I know you kind of like went into your heritage, Pamela. Like maybe tell us more about the theme of your wedding and the colors and everything.
Yes, so the ceremony was, like just the usual, like me wearing a white dress and him wearing a tux. And our theme colors were purple and royal blue. And because my favorite color is purple, and then he likes blue, so we thought it would be nice to put our favorite colors into it. And then for the reception, we changed outfits to Mexican style clothing
That's so cool.
are from Mexico. And then then we made it more colorful for the reception. And we had a wonderful mariachi band there. They were
Ah, so cool.
I mean, they were amazing. That was one of my list for like the wedding. If I were to have a wedding, I was like, I would love to have a mariachi band. Like that's something that
Yeah.
be like a dream for me, and I'm happy that we were able to make that happen. And especially his clothes is 100% from a small business in Georgia. It's Mexican owned and everything.
That's so cool.
Really important that a lot of the things that we used for the wedding is authentically Mexican owned and small businesses in Georgia. So that was really important to me to also give back to businesses as well.
That's really cool. I love that you even took it that step further to look at the business owners and incorporate your heritage even into that, which is really cool. And just giving them that opportunity to be a part of your day and to support those businesses with your wedding and how you were spending your money in that way, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So good. So maybe take us back. What were some of the most special moments from your day that you can think of?
It was wild, even like from morning till like the end of the day. I literally sometimes would forget that we were filming also at the same time, and which is good because
Right.
Even like my mother-in-law, she made sure to like, I didn't have to worry about anything when I was like getting ready. And she was there with me at the bridal suite, and she gave me a gift to symbolize, that she will, be a family to me and things like that, especially that my parents weren't there. So, even those small like moments of that throughout the day really made it really special and memorable, and made me feel really just feel very at peace. The day felt very at peace. There was no stress about anything. Probably the only people that were stressed out was the crew and the film crew and things like, because
Yeah.
they really had a lot of things that they had to worry about. But me, I was just, having a good time.
Yeah,
I was
good.
and they were like, "Oh, do you want any snacks?" And they made sure to like bring any of my favorite snacks and drinks while I was getting ready. And it was a party. The bridal suite. The show doesn't make it justice. We were having so much fun in the bridal suite. It was just a good party. And like Cheddar was getting spoiled by all the bridesmaids, and also Cheddar got her hair done, and
Oh, yeah.
it was a fun time. It was a pretty party before the
Yeah.
party.
Yeah, and
That's so
for
cool.
me, I really enjoyed the first look. That was really cool because at
Yeah.
first I was not sure if I wanted to incorporate a first look, and then once it was explained, I was like, "Oh man, this actually sounds pretty cool."
Yeah,
So
it was worth it to us.
yeah, that was one of my highlights outside of us obviously getting married, and so I really enjoyed that, and then hanging out with all the guys in the area that we were in was also just really cool, because typically don't I don't really hang out. We don't really typically hang out with much people in general, just like in our day to day. So it was actually nice to hang out with all of them at once because some of them, well, actually, none of them had really, some of them hadn't met before, and so that was really cool to see how their personalities came together in a moment where it matters most. So all the guys that I had were really awesome. Of course, your brother was there, so that was nice to be able to bond with him as well because I'd really only spoken to him, 5 years ago or so. So it was really great to have him around and just see how all that really worked. And got a haircut, of course, during that time, which was nice to have my barber. Savannah, she's awesome, and she cut my hair, of course, before, which is always nice to be able to get like a fresh cut right before you get married. I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome experience. So
Hmm.
all those things really came together. I did get to at least try some of the crab cake because you don't get to eat as much,
Yeah, right.
and just things are moving so quickly. You don't really get to eat that much, which they tell you about, and then when it really happens, you're like, dang, that really did
Hmm.
happen. I didn't have much time to do anything or eat anything, and just talking to people, and it was all worth it. So yeah, and then also with cheddar, I loved. Well, in that moment, I felt kind of indifferent, but she was going down the aisle, and then she jumped in, which I was not expecting actually, and so I just had to kind of wing that. And then she kind of started whimpering, and I was getting a little stressed because, we're like trying to have a wedding here, Cheddar.
Right, yeah.
So thankfully, when my eyes were closed, somebody, I don't know what happened. I don't know if she just jumped off or I was like, hey, it's time for you to go or, whatever. But she eventually was out of the picture for the time being just to focus and stuff. But everything was really magical and honestly really fun. And the thing that I don't think y'all got to see, we were doing the sand ceremony,
Yeah, that's cool.
and well, we started spilling the sand, and
Oh,
so
no.
it was kind of funny. Like we're like, all right, that's enough. And so some of the things that y'all didn't get to see, it was still super fun though. It was super fun. Super.
Yeah. That's so cool. I love that, that it was like your day, even though there was a big film crew there and everything. Like Pamela, I love how you said like the film crew was a little bit stressed out, but that didn't affect you at all. Like you were just in the moment, like so happy to be marrying Jay, and I love that you were just able to have that separation on your day and to just really focus on why you were there in the first place is to say your vows and get married to each other in front of friends and family. So I think
Really,
that's really cool. Yeah. And then something else that I know you mentioned, Pamela, was that your mother in law was really able to step in and really be there for you throughout a lot of the process because your family wasn't able to attend your wedding. Has any of that changed as far as your relationship goes with your family from the time of filming to now?
Changed. But at the same time, I'm still at peace with my decision. I don't regret anything. Like, it's not like, oh, I shouldn't have gotten married because my parents didn't show up. I am happy how everything turned out. And I still have a lot of support from my brother that did show up and my other brother who wasn't able to go because he's a minor. But so to me, I'm at peace in a lot of ways and happy. And if maybe down the line something changes, maybe it'll change. But right now, I'm going to focus on my marriage. My
Yeah.
marriage, my husband right now is the main priority now. I made vows to him and to focus on him and, also um, finding comfort as well that my in laws, they really showed me a lot what love can look like in a different way. And that to me means a lot and it helps me a lot. I think it would have been difficult if I didn't have a good support system. Maybe, yes, I would feel like completely lost and like, shattered more than I did. But because I have a good support system here, I try not to focus on what I lack.
I love that perspective because, yeah, I feel like it could be so easy to sort of, yeah, slip into that mindset. But because you do have that support system, and I mean, your in laws are saints, really, like how they've been able to step in and just advocate for your marriage and for you guys and really like be there for you throughout the whole process has been really cool to see. And I just love the support that they've been able to show you guys, which has been really cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
even off camera, Renee and I, we've had really good heart to heart conversations and things like that before the wedding, during the wedding, and even after. So,
Mhm.
yeah, like I am very, very lucky in a lot of ways. I'm very lucky.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Something that I ask all the couples who come on this show is what advice would you give other couples who are going through the wedding planning process right now?
you want to go first? Or
I just keep thinking about it.
well, I would say just make sure that you really focus on y'all because there's going to be so many things that come into play during the process or that may come up, and just don't allow it to deter you from like what really matters, which is obviously making it to that altar.
Yeah.
And so, and give yourself some grace because, and also things may not work out exactly how you plan. Like there just might be something that falls through the cracks. Just don't focus on that one particular thing. Like for instance, there was supposed to be some jewelry that you were supposed to have, and however this happened, it got lost on my
Oh,
end. Yeah,
no.
like I had put it on the bed, and then for wherever that went after that, it was gone. And so that happened like the day before the wedding, or the day of
Mm.
actually.
Oh,
And
damn.
it was the day of. So
Oh, no.
those things could matter in the moment, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like it shouldn't at least 10 years down the line matter. If you're still thinking about that, then you might need to reevaluate some things. So just give yourself some grace and understand that things are going to work out how they're supposed to. And as long as you focus on each other it'll be okay. And also, when it comes to inviting people, like really just make sure you have the right kind of energy there. Don't just invite people just to invite them or feel like you have to, because at the end of the day, it's your day and you get to make the rules as long as they're not like hurtful, harmful to people.
Right.
But you get to make the rules, and it is your wedding at the end of the day. It's your wedding. And of course, I know everybody has different cultures and stuff where things may be a little bit different. Just in general, try your best to focus on you and what y'all want.
I love that advice, Jay. I think that's so important, especially like what you said about like making sure the right people are there, and just keeping that the good vibes going of like,
Mhm.
how you want your wedding to go and the people that you truly do want to celebrate your day with is awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, you said exactly what I was already starting thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
it makes a huge difference.
Hmm.
The people who are your friends, it makes a huge, huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I also love what you said about like, yeah, the missing jewelry. Like, that is such a bummer that that
Yep.
happened. But like, you guys were able to keep that perspective of like, it's not about the jewelry, it's about us spending our lives together. And that's the vow that we're making and the commitment that we're making for this day. And like, yeah, those things can all just kind of go to the side because that's not the main focus of why we're here today. So I really love that perspective that you guys have.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So, okay, let's get into, do you guys know if there's going to be a season 2 of your show or any other projects that you're working on lately?
Yeah, so we actually have no idea what the future holds in regards to season two. I mean, we are hopeful that our story will live on a platform, and be able to share it, whatever that looks like. However, as we told everybody else, like, we're just really grateful that we got the opportunity to at least put it out there for the world to see, even if it is one season. That's a really big deal to even get a show. There's a lot involved to get green lit for a season in general. So, we're very grateful for that. And if it's meant to be that we get a season two, then wonderful. And if that is where that part of the journey ends, then that's also okay too, because we just have so many other things that we're doing as well. We're continuing to work with different brands. We just did something with Sephora
Oh,
that
cool.
came out on their social media. We have
Congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. We have some other projects that are coming up as well. And of course, for myself, I'm still voice acting for PBS Kids, which I play the character Jeff Mouse on Don Quixote, which is the
I
first.
love that show.
Yes, it's the
My
first.
kids love it. It's so
Yeah,
good.
it's the first disabled character on the show, so Jeff will definitely be
Nice.
making an appearance more in the show, which I'm very grateful. Shout out to PBS Kids. So I of course am still having things. Pamela's getting into her journey as well. She does a lot of vlog style content on
Nice.
TikTok specifically. People really enjoy that content from
So
her.
for those that say they miss us, well, I
Yeah.
didn't know what we're up to now.
Yeah, so
Yay.
she keeps up with everything with that. That's her big thing. And at the end of the day, like for the show, that was really helped propel us to what we're able to do now, which we're very grateful for, really using our platform whatever way we can. Because even prior to the show, we were already doing that kind of work in general. So the show just gave us an opportunity to do it on a larger scale and be able to connect and reach people that we may have otherwise not been able to. And so we're very grateful to have that opportunity, and yeah, just continuing to see where it goes. So we're hopeful we can give y'all a season two, because a lot of people have
Yay. I
really
hope
wanted
so.
one.
We are open to it.
We are open to it.
Yeah.
Waiting for the call,
We're and I
Right.
Well, I don't want to say we're waiting for the call, because that would be disingenuous. I want to say we're waiting for it because we don't chase, we attract. That's a
Right. I love that.
we're not sitting by the phone like, oh, please
No,
call
not
us.
like that.
You know,
Right.
More
Yeah.
like
if it happens,
Yeah.
if it happens, it happens,
We
and
haven't changed our number.
yeah, we haven't changed our number, and we're just grateful again for the opportunity to have a season one and for everything that it was able to do, the impact that it was able to have, and just the connection that it was able to really bring people together is really incredible. And I personally believe that our show is one of the most authentic reality TV shows, at least that I've been able to see. You know, minimal
We were
drama
very big
and
on
problems.
honesty.
As yeah,
We were very big on honesty when we're like, no, I'm gonna say this is how I feel, and they're like, well, no, this is how I feel. Like, I'm not gonna change my answer, and because yeah, we're very big on that of like, because our also we made a promise to ourselves and our loved ones of like uh, doing a show that is not going to ruin friendships, family, or anything like that. We just
yeah,
want to just share our story, and like you said, help people in some type of way. And
yes,
I'm glad we stuck to that because now that is the show is out there and the feedback that we have been receiving when we meet people in person, which is one of my favorite things, is meeting people out in public and they're like, oh, I've seen your show. One of the things that people say is they really enjoyed how authentic we are because they say it's relatable to an average person, if that makes sense. Of like, even if someone looks very different from you or has a very completely different life than you, at the end of the day we all go through family stuff, wedding stuff, and all that stuff, and we're not all too different. And so it's been great to hear people say that they have learned a lot from the show and now they're more open minded, or it has helped them have bigger conversations with their family as well that went through what my family went through. So I'm happy that is helping people feel less alone on their journey, whatever it is, and also feel like, okay, yeah, things might look different for someone, but at the end of the day, we're all human with
Yeah.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. And you're right. What a cool opportunity to share your story on such a public platform and to have the effect that it's had and for it to be so genuine and that you guys are happy with the result of what was released as well. Yeah, because it does seem so genuine on the show and it's so great to hear from you guys even behind the scenes that like that's truly how it was and that you were able to stand up for your own emotions when things were going on and that you truly did want it to be that authentic. And I think that is really what makes the show, where it's not like all this fabricated drama and things that like aren't necessarily you that people could see through. And so I think that's really what draws people even more to your story and everything that you're advocating for as well, which is really cool. So,
thanks.
yeah. Well, where can we find you online? Tell us your Instagram, TikTok handles. Where do you normally hang out?
Yeah. Right now, I'm really active on TikTok, which
Yeah.
is Jefamela, Pamela. And it's the same on Instagram. It's just Hefamela Official.
Okay. Nice.
And then for myself, you can check me out at Mini Producer, MINIPRODUCER, and that's on all platforms. It's the same across the board. And yeah, I love it. And I also have a website, miniproducer.com. So
Yeah.
never
Okay.
gonna forget about that. You got it. If you want to license any beats for or instrumentals for any type of use, you can on my
There's
website.
details in our bio, so
Yeah.
if you're interested in working with him with music stuff, the details are on his bio.
Yes, or
Okay.
any or want to work with us in the future, we have our management email in there. So
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on today and spending time just sharing more about your story and your wedding. It's so beautiful. Definitely go check out the show Jay and Pamela on TLC and on streaming platforms. And thank you guys again.
thank you
Congrats.
so much. Thank you for
Thank
having us. This was
you.
so fun.
Of
Yes.
course. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
There you have it, another episode of the Wedding Reporter podcast. To see those gorgeous wedding and engagement photos, head over to NashvilleBrideGuide.com for more behind the scenes content. And if you like this episode, I would so appreciate it if you would rate and subscribe the show. See you next time for another great episode.